Ethan works as a freelance data consultant. His income fluctuates every single month. In January, he earned $6,000. In February, he earned $3,200. Ethan has a specific plan for his money. He intends to move $500 into a diversified asset portfolio every month. This allocation is meant to build long-term ownership over a 20-year period. On the 1st of March, his bank balance shows $2,000. He looks at the number on his screen. A wave of uncertainty passes through him. He decides to delay the $500 transfer. He tells himself he will make the transfer when his next client pays. This sequence happens again in April. He checks his balance, feels unsure, and delays the allocation. In May, a large project for a client named Marcus pays him $8,000. He feels secure again. He moves the $500 without hesitation. But the pattern repeats in July, September, and November. Each time, the trigger is identical. He sees a number that feels too low. His immediate emotional reaction overrides his long-term plan. He justifies the delay by promising to double the allocation next month. Next month arrives and the cycle begins again. Over the course of a year, Ethan skips the $500 transfer 8 times. This behavior reduces his annual invested principal by $4,000. If we analyze Ethan's situation from a practical perspective, we notice a repeated behavioral pattern. The problem is not his work output. He delivers his services consistently. The problem is his 3-step loop. He checks a variable number. He feels an immediate emotional response. He alters a predetermined logical action. This loop is like a small crack in a water pipe. The water flows through the system perfectly, but a fixed portion drains out at the same joint every single cycle. Ethan earns real value by solving complex data problems for his clients. He exchanges his skill for measurable income. Yet the crack in his system prevents that income from becoming ownership. The delay happens because he evaluates his total capacity based on a single moment in time. He treats a temporary cash balance as a permanent financial boundary. When the balance drops, his brain signals a resource scarcity alert. This immediate reaction causes him to withhold capital from his future self. He believes he is protecting his present survival. In reality, he is breaking the chain of compounding. Let us look at the numbers over a 20-year period. Ethan misses 8 allocations of $500 per year. That equals $4,000 of missed principal annually. Over 20 years, the total missed principal is $80,000. But the measurable outcome extends far beyond the missed principal. The real cost is the lost compounding on that $80,000. At a historical average growth rate of 7%, money doubles approximately every 10 years. The $4,000 missed in year 1 would have compounded for 19 years. The $4,000 missed in year 2 would have compounded for 18 years. This loss accumulates silently. By year 20, the gap between Ethan's actual portfolio and his planned portfolio is massive. The cumulative lost growth equals the exact amount he would have accumulated if he had started 7 years earlier. Delaying $500 8 times a year costs him 7 years of compounding. It is like fuel escaping from an engine while the vehicle is running. The engine operates, but the fuel tank never reaches its intended capacity. Now, let us examine a common financial belief. Many people believe that building real wealth requires a high, stable salary. They assume that variable income makes consistent investing impossible. This belief fails logically when we look at Ethan's actual revenue. His average annual income over 3 years is $72,000.
He can easily afford a $500 monthly allocation. That equals $6,000 per year. It represents less than 9% of his gross income. The barrier is not the size of his income. The barrier is his decision to let a variable number dictate a fixed rule. The solution is not a higher salary. The solution is a behavioral adjustment tied to his real productivity. Ethan's work output is consistent. He completes an average of 15 projects per year. Each project generates roughly $4,800. He could anchor his allocation to his project completions rather than his bank balance. For every project completed, he could allocate $333.
This would reach his $4,000 annual target without relying on a monthly schedule. Instead, he anchors his decision to his bank app. He opens the app an average of 12 times a month. Each check exposes him to a new emotional trigger. The more he checks, the more opportunities he creates to delay. He justifies these checks by calling it financial awareness. But his awareness only activates his fear of running out. This fear systematically dismantles his long-term plan. The immediate emotion of uncertainty feels rational in the moment. Delayed logical reflection would show him that his average income covers the allocation, but he never reaches the stage of delayed reflection. He acts on the first emotional signal. The three-step loop runs automatically. Check the balance, feel the uncertainty, delay the allocation. This loop guarantees a specific mathematical outcome. It transforms a 20-year builder into a 13-year builder. It erases 7 years of compounding growth. The behavior repeats, the results accumulates, and the outcome becomes predictable. The system does not care about his intentions. It only measures what he actually deposits. Ethan must separate his allocation trigger from his bank balance display. He can schedule an automatic transfer on the 15th of every month regardless of the balance. Predictable capital allocation always outperforms emotion-driven financial hesitation.